Bill in Houston, Texas. Hey, Bill, what's up?
Hi, Tom. I had a question, and I think it's kind of off topic as far as what you may be discussing now, but I was listening to your conversation in regards to Jefferson and their implementation of wealth and those things that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I had a two-part question. My first part was, what do you think the legacy of Obama will be when he's out of office? And the second part is, I don't know if the Congressional Black Caucus has ever brought any legislation forward in regards to reparations.
I believe it's been proposed. But.
And that whole thing in regards to the slavery. But also I wanted to make a point that it seems that no one wants to talk about that topic, and you also discussed how the wealth was achieved in this country at such a rapid rate and how we became so wealthy based on the free labor. I wanted to know also what is your opinion on reparations? Now, this would be my last point. My father's white, my mother's black. God rest her soul. They were together for 50 years,
wow.
Dealing with many of the things that they dealt with in Chicago at that time, being a couple. Mm-hmm. I've had this discussion with my father as well, and he says, well, white people didn't, we didn't, meaning current white citizens in the USA did not enslave black people, so why should there be reparations? Right. And, of course, he and I have had this discussion for many years, and we don't agree. But I wanted to know what your opinion was on the Obama legacy and the question that I just raised. And
on the Obama I'm sorry, Bill.
I'll take your answer offline.
Okay. All right. Bill, thanks a lot for the call and thoughtful questions. With regard to the Obama legacy, I don't honestly know. I think he's going to be viewed as one of our best presidents, and certainly as one of our better, if not our best, recent presidents. He's being an African-American in the White House. He has exposed the underbelly of white racism in this country and hatred in a way that I think has shocked a lot of white people for the first time. So that's a good thing. So we'll see where we go with that. Your second question, the second question was about reparations. Thank you, Shano. As right now in the United States, the wealth owned by the average black family is around $5,000. Total assets. Right now in the United States, the wealth owned by the average white family is around $86,000, as I recall. Until those two numbers are equalized, we need to do something. Now, we could debate what we need to do. Lyndon Johnson's approach was, okay, let's do everything we can to lift people up. Now, he was not just black poor people, but all poor people. Let's basically, give people the money and resources that they need to jump into the middle class and leap off from there. And that was the Great Society. And I think that you could view the Great Society as a small beginning in the direction of reparations. But whether you say, okay, here's the difference. It's, $5,000 versus $86,000. So we give every black family in America $81,000 and say, you now have wealth equal to all the white families. But the problem is that it's not just economic wealth. There's also cultural wealth is not the right phrase, but there's, the poverty impacts people in a variety of ways. Poverty creates stress. Poverty makes it harder for people to function. Children of poor families tend to have smaller vocabularies than children of wealthy families because they're exposed to a smaller variety of words, fewer words as they're growing up. And so even if you said, okay, here's $81,000 to every African-American family in America, and keeping in mind that obviously not all black people are poor. I mean, there's a substantial and, a substantial black middle class in this country, and a few very wealthy black people. But still, I mean, you do it or you don't. But even if we did that, it wouldn't solve the structural problems, and B, it wouldn't deal with, it might, like, for one generation seem to equalize things, but it takes more than one generation. I don't know the answer to this. What I do know is that we, the country, and speaking as a white guy, the white people in this country who have benefited tremendously from not just slavery, but also from Jim Crow, from the oppression of blacks, from, part of the middle class that my dad grew up in, one of the things that the unions did was keep black people out. When my dad came back from World War II on the GI Bill, he could buy a house with the GI Bill, which he did, and black people couldn't, or at least they couldn't in our neighborhood. And, you had redlining that was legal back then. He could go to college. Most black people who came back on the GI Bill couldn't. I mean, there was just there's all this structural stuff. It's going to take a couple of generations. But we need to get about, number one, having a conversation about it, and number two, having some serious policy ideas.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.